How to live to 100 years old, the secret to longevity. If getting older and maintaining your youth is exactly what you intend to do with your life, then there are key elements that you need to focus on. For those out there who are questioning what makes a happy older age, or those who simply want to set a standard for their lives that ensures they are doing everything they can to be around for as long as possible, then keep watching to unravel and discover the secret to longevity. Perhaps the best question to ask regarding longevity would be, is there actually a secret formula to live to be a centenarian? Medical tests show there are common results among the lively elderly, but nothing that they choose to hide or keep a secret from the rest of the world. People living longer lives, even past 100 years old, are typically no better off than most. And interestingly, they all have a similar lifestyle in common. Areas known as blue zones have proven this to us. Let's delve into what these commonalities are and unravel how you could implement them in your own life. The two most well-known key elements to living a healthy long life, exercise and diet, have been researched and discussed at large for a long time. Focusing on exercise first, we all know the more active you are, the better. This last sentence really illustrates the importance of exercise in an intriguing way. The key word here is active, which is not what you would generally associate with. Leading an active day-to-day life is one of the key aspects to living a longer quality life, well into your 80s, 90s, and even past 100 years old. Not in any way to discredit any form of exercise, but the active way of life seems to yield results that anyone can achieve if they adopt lifestyle choices and a mindset that celebrates everyday activities to the utmost. The simple things, and this is where the mindset comes into play, like walking to your destination, the shops, walking to visit family or friends, or walking the dog do make a difference. A lifetime of walking everywhere can have massive implications on your overall health and how long you live. In a 9-to-5 world where we have a weekend to celebrate life, exercise typically manifests itself as sports training a couple of times a week, followed by a weekend game, or for some, weekday laps at a swimming pool. The key is to maintain consistent, relatively low impact exercise. It could be as simple as taking the stairs, walking the dog daily, or gardening. It is crucial to point out here the importance of daily activity. Whilst a lot of us will participate in sports in our 20s and 30s, this typically diminishes as we get older and the active lifestyle slows dramatically. Walking the dog and gardening are great examples of activities that associate with longevity and quality of life as we age. Evidence points to activities like walking everywhere, waking early, and performing everyday household tasks or labor-intensive work to be significant activities to longevity. It's all about day-to-day natural movement outdoors, preferably in nature or a natural setting. The most polarizing element to living a long life would have to be diet. So many different schools of thought out there about what we should be ingesting for optimal health into our old age. Vegetarian, carnivore, vegan, pescatarian, raw. All of these diets have their own merits and omit certain foods. For longevity, the necessary foods to omit are the ones that are not natural. A rainbow-coloured diet of natural, non-processed foods eaten at the right time, and typically the same time daily, is common to people who live a long life. Vegetables and fruits, as well as legumes or beans, make up the volume of their diet. Drinking plenty of water, tea, coffee, and even some alcohol. Meat is eaten sparingly, sometimes not at all, but approximately 5 serves of meat per month is typical. In Okinawa, a designated blue zone, they practice hara hachibu, where they eat until they are about 80% full. It is actually said before they eat, reminding them of the practice. How these lively elderly people eat is such an important point to consider. Typically, larger meals are eaten throughout the day rather than a large meal at night. Hot, home-cooked meals are prepared in the family kitchen, and different generations of the family all eat together, sitting down, enjoying each other's company. In some cases, a light nap is taken afterwards, and the second half of the day resumes with new vigour. In fact, quality sleep and prioritizing sleep plays an important role in longevity too. By limiting excessive amounts of meat, sugar, and alcohol, obesity remains non-existent among centenarians. Cardiovascular disease, cancer, neurodegenerative disease like Alzheimer's and diabetes are not prevalent in long-living communities. People live longer quality lives, longer than the average lifespan, and most die in their sleep. People in most of the so-called blue zones live in fairly rural and somewhat isolated areas. They live a country lifestyle where a lot of what they do is dictated by the seasons, the terrain, and the ability to produce their own food. This is not to say they live an easy life. Furthermore, most centenarians have lived through war, famine, and have learnt to deal with stress in a healthy manner. It has been found that the resilience and reaction to stress plays a huge role in quality of life and inevitably the length of our lives. When things don't go according to plan, an attitude of, if it doesn't get done today, it will tomorrow, is always present to minimize the stress and continue on in a calm manner. This also helps peaceful sleep patterns. Having good mentors is also a great help. This further emphasizes the importance of multi-generational households and communities. Good relationships provide us with the support and love we need to grow old happy. Loneliness is a killer. The greater your social network is, the better off you are. So much has been discovered recently about mental health. It is so important to have quality people around you to support your emotional health. You need to find your tribe. The Okinawans actively seek out friends from a young age that they will go through life with. They call it their moai, about half a dozen friends that are there for you no matter what. It stems from their farming practices and overall ability to provide for themselves and their families. If a member of your moai has fallen on tough times or requires assistance, you all step up and help out. Among these communities, there is also a very strong belief around what each individual's purpose is. The reason to get up every morning. Typical reasons are as simple as to speak with their grandchildren, or to make sure the animals or crops are well looked after. This carries through their entire lives, and as opposed to our work then retire lifestyle, these oldies just keep on getting up every morning to fulfill their purpose. The Japanese call it ikigai. Costa Ricans, plan de vida, the reason to live. There is just one last element I'd like to touch on, and this is around faith. Those who live long, healthy lives well into their 80s and 90s and do so without the need for eyeglasses, hearing aids, pills, assistants or carers all have strong spiritual beliefs. Whether it is Seventh-day Adventists in Loma Linda, California, or Buddhists in Okinawa, those who value their spiritual side are found to live longer. Stress and sickness are low whilst their immunity is strong. The coming together of like-minded people, the rituals observed, the fasting, all contribute to a healthy long life. Combining all these factors into life is a surefire, proven way to grow old with vigour, grace and happiness. Our biggest challenge is to find the best way to implement these things into our modern life. Our loved ones would definitely benefit from extra quality years of our own lives. All the more reason to follow your plan de vida and let the change begin.